Ready, set, go.
I thought it was the Triple Amigos.
You're live.
Dude.
Alright, hi, I'm Jack Watson, and this is Mano y Mano. This movie is The Revenant by Alejandro Gonzalez. Great action movie all about revenge on a man that used to be his friend. This is Surf's Up by Chris Buck, surfing movie about a penguin prodigy named Cody Maverick. This is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 by David Yates. It's an action movie packed with about wizards and witches fighting. This is More Than a Game by Christopher Bellman, a documentary about the GOAT, LeBron James, and the journey to the NBA. This is Saving Private Ryan. This was during World War II by Steven Spielberg, and they were brought back to home to see their families. This is Remember the Titans by Bose Yakin. This sport movie is one of the greatest of all time, about a hard-hitting football bond together. This is The Benchwarmers, and this is about three idiots who try to play baseball. This is Dodgeball. It's about a movie about two gyms, and they play dodgeball against each other. This is Hot Rod by Egvia Schaefer, a young man by the name of Rod, inspired by his father, strives to be a great stuntman. This is Narnia by Andrew Adamson. It's a magical closet that they walk into. This is Kung Fu Panda, about a guy named Po, and tries to fight the legends. This is the Shaswang by Frank Darabont. This movie is about a courageous man who outsmarts security. This is Land of the Lost by Brad Spellenberg. An inspiring scientist invents a machine that allows him to travel sideways. This is Gran Torino. This is Gran Torino by Clint Eastwood, and he tries to take down a gang. This is Rocky, and he's a boxer in Chicago and trains by punching meat. And now on to the songs.
You can see Chicago. Chicago.
Get to the songs, Watson.
You want a zero?
We have Narcos.
Dude, I'll read it.
Give me the list. Okay, so for the songs we have Narcos by the Migos, Zoo by Future, Pick It Up by Famous Dex, New Freezer by Rich the Kid, For Real, Lil Uzi, The Way Life Goes, Lil Uzi, Take Care, Young Thug, Cocoon by the Migos again, Love by Kendrick Lamar, then we have Who, Future and Young Thug, High Roller, Lil Uzi, Solo by Future, P's and Q's by Lil Uzi, and Still Sippin' and Plug Walk, both by Rich the Kid. Thank you. This has been Mano y Mano with Jack Watson. Now finish.
And Hayes Donham. What?
I'm here for moral support. Okay. Hello and welcome to For the Record Reviews, where we are going to review the top 15 songs and movies of all time. First, we're going to start with movies. We've broken everything up into categories. So for movies, we have horror, comedy, drama, and action. And for songs, we have rap, alternative, rock, and pop. Let's start out with horror. Horror movies. First, we have The Shining. This is a classic horror story, and most people consider it to be the best horror film of all time. Next, we have Poltergeist. This movie is about a family who believes that ghosts are communicating with them through their TV. It is an extremely scary film and is known to be very iconic in the horror movie film world. Next, we have The Grudge. Not as iconic of a film, but is still extremely well known for being very, very scary, and it definitely gives you the excitement that you want a horror movie to give you. Next, we have comedies. First, we have the classic Mean Girls. This story is about a girl who moves from Africa, who has been homeschooled all of her life, who comes to America and goes to high school for the first time, and it's about her trying to fit in the world. And it's a crazy story, extremely funny, and it will leave you laughing very hard. Next, we have Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is a classic teenage comedy about a kid who just doesn't want to go to school anymore. So he cuts class with his best friend and his girlfriend, and they explore around the city and have a great time. Next, we have 10 Things I Hate About You. This is more of a rom-com than a comedy, but it still definitely has a lot of comedic elements. It's based off of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream and stars the late great Heath Ledger, and is known to be a great film. Next, we have Clueless. This is a cult classic movie for all teenagers. It is starring this character, Cher Holowitz, and she is a spoiled brat, but she tries to put her spoiledness aside and help out this new kid at the school and try to make her popular. Next, we have action movies. First, we have the more recent movie Deadpool, which is a new take on the classic superhero film. And then we have Men in Black, which is a older, more classic take on superhero, or not superhero movies, but action movies. This is about partners who go to, oh my god, I just completely forgot. Okay, this is about discovering aliens, and it's these two partners, and they have to fight off all these aliens that are going all around the world. Yeah. Now we have dramas. First, we have the remake of the classic 1960s film The Great Gatsby, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. This film is extremely well known, both the original and the new one, but we picked the newer one just because the soundtrack and the directing, it's all very, very beautiful, and we believe it's just better made than the old one, but you can argue either point. Next, we have La La Land. This was an almost Oscar winner, and it's very well known for its soundtrack and lack of dialogue and plot, but at the same time being a beautiful film that most people really enjoy. Next, we have Perks of Being a Wallflower, another film known extremely well for its soundtrack, featuring Come On Eileen by Dexy Midnight Runner, Asleep by the Smiths, and Heroes by David Bowie. It has a ton of old school rock songs on the soundtrack, and it is a great storyline, especially for if you are trying to discover more about mental illness. It really puts into perspective some mental illness in Charlie, this character right here. He struggles with PTSD and depression, and it's a new take on mental illness. Next, we have Catch Me If You Can, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. It's about an identity theft who is trying to just have some fun and do his job. Next, we have Pulp Fiction. This is known to be one of the greatest movies of all time, if not the greatest. It is a cult classic film starring Uma Thurman, and everyone loves it. Finally, we have Forrest Gump, starring Tom Hanks. This is another cult classic film known to be one of the best movies of all time. It's about a guy named Forrest who just wants everyone to be happy. Next, we have our songs. We're starting off with pop. First, we have All Time Low by John Bellion, an extremely popular and new song with a really catchy beat. Then we have Capsize by Friendship and Emily Warren. This is a one-hit wonder from them, but nonetheless, it's still a great song. We have Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran, which is a Irish jig, and it's extremely different from any other pop songs you would normally hear, but is equally as good. And we have Sherry Hill by Russ. This is more of a slow song, but it's equally as good as the rest. Next, we have rap. First, we have Bonfire by Childish Gambino. This song is extremely innovative with its lyrics and has a lot of lyrics you wouldn't expect, and they're extremely clever. Next, we have Juice by Chance the Rapper. It's one of his least popular songs, but still has an extremely catchy beat, and once you listen to it, you kind of get hooked. Next, we have Garbage by Tyler, the Creator. Tyler is known for his creativity and innovativeness in the music world and in the fashion world, and this is one of his amazing songs. Next, we have Look at Me by XXXTentacion. This is a song with a very catchy beat that will oftentimes get stuck in your head. Then we finally have I Fall Apart by Post Malone. Not necessarily a rap song, but one of the slower songs by Post, and it was definitely innovative in the way that he is a rapper but put out more of a slower pop type song. We have Alternative. We have 2 Billie Eilish songs on here. One is Copycat, which is more of a upbeat and poppy lyrics and beat. And then we have Bellyache, which is more disturbing and slow. And then we have Riptide by Vance Joy, which is more calm. And then Supermodel, which just provides a really good insight on the world and really makes you think when you listen to it. Finally, we have Rock. We have 2 kind of completely different types of songs in our rock category. First, we have one of the most iconic songs of all time, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, and it is extremely popular, known to be one of the most iconic songs ever, and everyone loves it. If you don't love it, then you're crazy. And then we have a newer artist, Harry Styles, who nobody expected to be a really hardcore rock artist. They all kind of expected him to do pop music coming from a boy band. But his new album, self-titled, was extremely innovative in the way that he really went back to 70s music, and it deserves to be on this list compared to Nirvana. That is it. Today we've showed you many different types of songs and movies from different genres, and we really hope that you enjoyed and agree with our list in some part. I'm Caroline Fromm, and this has been For the Record.